A tale from ancient times. The Watchers. They were divine beings who descended from the heavens to guide humanity. Sent to protect and observe, they were meant to watch over mankind. But this story was not just about guidance. The revelation of forbidden knowledge turned into one of the greatest betrayals in history. The Watchers did not simply observe. They unveiled secrets that were never meant for humans, unlocking the gates to knowledge, power, and destruction. And in that moment, history changed forever. The line between angels and humans blurred. Forbidden love, betrayal, and rebellion. This story has been silenced throughout history, its traces deliberately erased. But did they truly disappear? Or does the legacy of the Watchers still shape our world today? Now it's time to uncover the forbidden secrets of the Watchers mentioned in the ancient Book of Enoch. Let's explore them together. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Your support means a lot to me. Welcome to my channel, Discovery of the Mystery, where we will uncover the secrets. According to the Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish text believed to have been written around 300 BCE, the Watchers were no ordinary angels. They were a group specifically chosen by God for a sacred mission. In the earliest days of humanity, they were tasked with observing, protecting, and guiding mankind. Their duty was of the utmost importance, but also extremely delicate. They were only meant to watch over the human race, offer guidance, and ensure its protection. At that time, humanity was raw and unshaped, merely scratching the surface of its potential. Life was simple yet unpredictable, beauty intertwined with struggle. Communities were beginning to form, but survival was a relentless battle against nature. It was during this fragile stage that God appointed the Watchers, not to interfere, but to silently observe as humanity developed according to divine principles. The Watchers were extraordinary beings. Possessing immense wisdom and power, these angels had been chosen for their discipline and unwavering devotion. They were meant to act as an invisible boundary between the divine and mortal realms. From their celestial vantage point, they watched humanity's joys and sorrows, its resilience and fragility. Mankind was far from perfect, but within it lay an unpredictable and untamed potential, one that even the highest celestial beings found captivating. But what happens when those assigned to guide humanity begin to question their own roles? What if admiration turns into a forbidden desire? This is where the story of the Watchers takes a dramatic turn. This was a turning point that would not only change the fate of the Watchers, but alter the destiny of humanity forever. The Watchers did not remain mere observers. They acted, and the choices they made shook the very fabric of creation. At first, it was mere curiosity, perhaps even admiration, but soon it evolved into something far more dangerous: the beauty of human existence, the complexity of emotions. And yes, the allure of human women was irresistible to some of the Watchers. One of these angels, Samyaza, saw something extraordinary in humanity, wild yet carrying an unlimited potential. But he was aware of the risks. Any contact with humans was strictly forbidden. Yet he could not ignore his desires. So he devised a plan. If he was going to fall, he wouldn't fall alone. Samyaza gathered the other Watchers and convinced them to take an oath of rebellion. 200 angels abandoned their celestial duty, descending to earth, swearing to fulfill their desires. And at that moment, everything changed. This was the beginning of something far greater, an act of defiance that would echo through time. But the story does not end there. What the Watchers did was not just an act of betrayal. It was perhaps the beginning of an entirely new chapter in human history. The Watchers did not come to Earth empty-handed. They brought gifts, powerful and transformative knowledge that propelled humanity forward in ways once unimaginable. But as history has shown, knowledge is a double-edged sword. The wisdom the Watchers shared shaped civilization, but it also unleashed chaos. Let's begin with Azazel. Among the 200 Watchers, his name stands out, and for good reason. Azazel taught humanity the art of metalworking, showing them how to forge weapons from iron and bronze. This was a lesson in power. No longer did humans have to rely solely on physical strength or numbers. Power now rested in the hands of those who controlled the tools of war. Battles became more brutal, conflicts more frequent, tribes clashed over land, resources, and vengeance. Weapons brought power, but power bred violence. Yet Azazel was not done. He also revealed the secrets of adornment. Jewelry, makeup, and symbols of beauty spread among humans. What seems innocent today was nothing short of revolutionary back then. These gifts fueled vanity and desire, igniting jealousy, seduction, and manipulation. The Watchers taught humanity that appearance could be just as dangerous a weapon as a blade. While Azazel reshaped the world through physical tools, another Watcher, Kokabiel, turned humanity's gaze toward the heavens. To him, true power lay in the stars. Kokabiel taught people astrology, revealing the movement of celestial bodies and the secrets of the cosmos. For early humans, this knowledge was nothing short of a revolution. What was once seen as an unreachable void now became a map to follow. With this wisdom, people learned to predict the seasons, navigate uncharted lands, and even foresee the future. But the story doesn't end here. The knowledge the Watchers gave humanity brought progress, but also chaos. So could the consequences of this forbidden knowledge still be felt today? Perhaps the legacy of the Watchers is far more deeply rooted than we ever imagined. But along with this knowledge, another temptation emerged: the desire to control fate. Amoros introduced humanity to the world of sorcery, teaching the art of spells and curses. These teachings opened the gates to manipulating nature and people. What was once hidden in the shadows became a tool wielded by those hungry for power. At first, these gifts seemed like a blessing. Agriculture flourished, societies became more structured, and humanity gained greater control over its surroundings. The knowledge of the Watchers laid the foundations of the first civilizations. But this progress came at a heavy price. Weapons led to war. Pride fueled corruption. What was once revered, magic and astrology, eventually became sources of fear and manipulation. The Book of Enoch describes the greatest consequence of the Watchers' rebellion: the birth of the Nephilim. These hybrid beings, born from the forbidden union of angels and humans, were giants in every sense. Their physical size was matched only by their insatiable hunger for food, power, and destruction. According to the Book of Enoch, the Nephilim rapidly consumed the earth's resources, turning fertile lands into barren wastelands. Their existence disrupted the balance of nature, leaving only devastation in their wake. But what truly terrified humanity was not just their physical strength, it was their moral corruption. It is said that the Nephilim inherited the worst traits of both their angelic and human ancestors. Pride, greed, and an obsession with control turned them into ruthless rulers. Their reign of terror pushed humanity to the brink of extinction, and as chaos consumed the world, the heavens could no longer remain silent. The rebellion of the Watchers had not only tainted the earth, it was a defiance against the very order of creation. The knowledge they had given humanity had fueled war, greed, and destruction. Their children, the Nephilim, had drained the world's resources and spread violence wherever they went. As the weight of their sins crushed the world, divine judgment became inevitable. According to the Book of Enoch, when God saw the corruption caused by the Watchers and their offspring, he sent forth his mightiest archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Their mission was clear: restore order, punish the Watchers, cleanse the world, and ensure that such a rebellion would never happen again. Their first target was Azazel. As the architect of humanity's corruption, he had revealed the secrets of weapons, vanity, and forbidden knowledge. His punishment was swift and merciless. Azazel was bound hand and foot and cast into a pit of darkness, filled with jagged stones deep beneath the earth. The archangels sealed him away with sharp rocks, imprisoning him in an eternal abyss. There he would remain until Judgment Day, when he would face his final fate. But the leader of the Watchers, Samyaza, was just as guilty. Though he had not revealed as much knowledge as Azazel, he was the one who orchestrated the rebellion. He was the one who led his brethren into sin and defied divine order. Samyaza, along with the other Watchers, was cast into the depths of the abyss. Chained beneath the mountains, their desperate cries echoed through the earth as they awaited divine judgment. However, the punishment of the Watchers was not the end of purification. A greater threat remained: The Nephilim. These monstrous offspring of forbidden unions were an aberration of the natural order. They were too powerful and too numerous to be destroyed by human hands alone. And so, a greater catastrophe was unleashed to wipe them out, the Great Flood. This devastating event is not only recounted in the Book of Enoch, but also appears in the myths of numerous cultures across the world. The flood was a reset, a divine intervention meant to erase the sins of the Watchers and their monstrous offspring. The waters washed away every trace of their existence, marking the end of an era. The world was purified. Yet the scars of the Watchers' rebellion were never truly erased. Their influence endured in the knowledge they left behind, in the ruins of corrupted civilizations, and in the legends passed down through generations. But what became of the Watchers themselves? According to the Book of Enoch, they were imprisoned deep beneath the earth, bound in darkness and torment, condemned to eternal suffering. Once revered as divine protectors, these angels were now cursed to endure everlasting agony. But the story does not end there. Accounts suggest that their imprisonment was never meant to be permanent. The Book of Enoch speaks of a final judgment, a time when the Watchers will be brought forth from their prisons to face judgment once more. Their fate, like their story, remains a mystery. Were they truly defeated, or do their echoes still ripple through time? The fall of the Watchers serves as a warning, a tale of defiance against divine law and the dangers of knowledge without wisdom. But it also raises unsettling questions about the nature of humanity itself. If the Watchers were punished for their rebellion, what should we think of the knowledge they left behind? And even more terrifying is this possibility: the story of the Watchers may not be over yet. Some interpretations suggest that their imprisonment beneath the earth was not a final defeat, but merely a pause. So could they one day return? And if they do, what will they find? A humanity that has fulfilled its potential? Or a civilization doomed to repeat the same mistakes they set in motion? Semyaza, Azazel, Kokabio, and Amaros were not the only lost guardians of the heavens. Between the lines of ancient texts and whispers of oral traditions, the names of other Watchers can still be heard. Lesser known, yet no less significant. One of them was Penemu. He was the keeper of secrets, a being of profound intellect and boundless curiosity. Unlike Azazel, he did not grant humanity weapons of war. Instead, his gift was subtler, yet equally transformative: writing. Before Penemu descended to Earth, humanity relied solely on oral traditions to pass down knowledge. Stories faded over time, lost across generations. But with the introduction of written language, thoughts could be preserved forever. With this gift, humanity began recording its achievements, mapping its lands, and documenting its laws. But like all the other gifts of the Watchers, Penemu's gift also had a dark side. Writing was not only used to record the truth, it could also be manipulated to distort it. Lies could be etched into stone, conspiracies could be crafted with ink, and propaganda could spread through societies, shaping minds. Some legends speak of Penemu's regret. It is said that as he watched humanity twist the written word for their own selfish gains, he whispered warnings from the shadows. But those warnings went unheard. When the archangels descended to deliver divine judgment, Penemu's punishment was eternal silence. The scribe of humanity could never speak another word again. Another forgotten Watcher was Sariel. His name, meaning command of God, signified his role as a teacher of celestial mysteries. Long before telescopes and compasses, Sariel taught humanity about the movements of the stars, the cycles of the moon, and the rhythm of cosmic time. His teachings enabled early civilizations to navigate oceans, sow crops in harmony with the seasons, and gaze upon the heavens with reverence. But as humanity's understanding of the skies deepened, so did its arrogance. The stars were no longer viewed solely as divine mysteries. They became tools for power. Kings consulted astrologers to predict the outcomes of wars. Priests used solar and lunar eclipses to manipulate the fears of the masses. The cosmic balance that Sariel had intended to share was corrupted by humanity's insatiable thirst for control. Sariel's ultimate fate remains unknown. Some accounts say he was chained alongside Semyaza and Azazel. Others claim he still wanders the heavens, mourning the way his sacred knowledge has been exploited by those who seek power rather than enlightenment. Another significant figure among the Watchers was Tamiel. His name, meaning perfection of God, signified his role as the guardian of waters, rivers, oceans, and the unknown depths beneath the earth. Tamiel taught humanity the secrets of water, showing them how to harness it for survival and prosperity. From irrigation systems to primitive ships, his knowledge allowed small communities to grow into flourishing civilizations. But Tamiel's lessons were not limited to practical wisdom. He also revealed the sacred nature of water, its power to purify the soul, and its ability to connect humans to the divine. Yet, like all gifts from the Watchers, humanity corrupted this knowledge. Rituals of purification became tools of oppression. Rivers were poisoned in wars, and the oceans were no longer seen as sacred entities to be revered, but as territories to be conquered. Tamiel's admiration for humanity ultimately led to his downfall. His awe of human intelligence blinded him to their greed. When the Nephilim began consuming the Earth's resources, Tamiel witnessed the devastation with his own eyes. His punishment was unlike any other. He was chained in the very depths of the ocean he once protected. There, for eternity, he would hear the mournful cries of the waters he had betrayed. But perhaps the most mysterious Watcher was Gadriel. His story is remembered only in fragments. While the other Watchers gave humanity knowledge and technology, Gadriel's gift was destruction. Some accounts claim that he was the one who taught humanity the art of war, including battle strategies, the construction of fortresses, and methods of defense. But his influence ran even deeper. Certain texts depict Gadriel as the being who whispered to Eve, tempting her to eat the forbidden fruit. Whether taken literally or symbolically, he is clearly described as a seductive force that altered the course of human destiny. His fall was swifter and more brutal than the others. Azazel rebelled openly, but Gadriel worked from the shadows, corrupting humanity in silence. His influence spread like a plague through the hearts of men, and so he received the harshest punishment of all. Cast into the deepest darkness, his name was erased from the records of the righteous for eternity. Yet his teachings still echo. In every war, in every betrayal, in every defense, his legacy endures. The Watchers fell, and their punishment was meant to erase their influence from the world. But history shows that stories of such magnitude do not simply disappear. Perhaps the Watchers remain chained, but their legacy lives on, in cultures, myths, and even modern interpretations of humanity's past. Take the Nephilim, for example, the giants born from the forbidden union of the Watchers and humans. According to the Book of Enoch, these beings terrorized the world with their immense size and insatiable hunger. But did they truly perish in the Great Flood? Curiously, legends of giants appear in cultures across the globe. The Greek Titans were massive beings who defied the gods. The Jotun of Norse mythology were fearsome giants who frequently clashed with the divine. Even Native American legends tell stories of ancient giants who once shaped the world. Are these merely legends, or have the memories of the Nephilim lived on, taking different forms across various cultures throughout history? Could the similar accounts found across the world be mere coincidence, or are they echoes of a shared ancient memory? These legends continue to resonate, suggesting that the forbidden teachings of the Watchers left an indelible mark on human history and mythology. But what about the forbidden knowledge the Watchers shared? Could it be the key to unlocking the mysteries of ancient structures? Consider the Great Pyramid of Giza, the massive ruins of Baalbek, or the enigmatic Göbekli Tepe, architectural marvels that far surpass the capabilities attributed to the civilizations of their time. Even today, modern engineers and archaeologists struggle to fully explain how they were built. Take the Great Pyramid of Giza, for example. Each massive limestone block weighs several tons, with some estimates suggesting the heaviest blocks exceed 70 tons. These stones were not only transported across great distances, but also placed with extraordinary precision. The fact that the pyramids are perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions and even celestial events like the solstices raises a profound question. How could such feats have been achieved using only primitive tools and techniques? Similarly, the ruins of Baalbek in Lebanon, particularly the Temple of Jupiter, are notable for their immense megalithic stones. The Stone of the Pregnant Woman, one of these blocks, weighs over 1,000 tons. Yet somehow ancient builders managed to quarry, transport, and position these colossal stones with remarkable accuracy, a task that even modern cranes would struggle to accomplish. How was this possible? Even more mysterious is Göbekli Tepe, often regarded as the world's oldest known temple. Dated to over 11,000 years ago, it consists of massive stone pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons, arranged in intricate circular formations. Given that this site predates the advent of agriculture, how could a society of hunter-gatherers have organized and executed such an advanced architectural project? For historians, this remains one of the greatest mysteries of our past. Considering the limited knowledge and technology available at the time, these achievements seem almost impossible. This has led some to speculate that early civilizations were guided by the Watchers, that their forbidden knowledge allowed humanity to surpass its natural limitations. Astrology, too, carries traces of the Watchers. Kökköbel's teachings about the stars appear to have left a lasting imprint on human culture. Ancient societies built monuments like Stonehenge in the Nabta Playa stone circle, aligning them with celestial movements. Civilizations such as the Mayans and Babylonians developed calendars and astrological systems with astonishing precision, calculations that continue to impress scholars today. Modern science attributes these achievements to human observation and intelligence, but some believe that the echoes of the Watchers' teachings still persist, that these advancements were not mere coincidences, but the remnants of ancient knowledge passed down through the ages. However, the influence of the Watchers is not confined to the ancient world. Today, they have become intertwined with theories of extraterrestrial life. Advocates of the ancient astronaut hypothesis propose that the Watchers were not merely angels, but beings from another world. Could they have been advanced entities mistaken for divine messengers by early humans? For example, take the Nazca lines in Peru. These massive geoglyphs, etched into the desert floor, span hundreds of meters and depict animals, plants, and geometric shapes. The most intriguing aspect of these designs is that they can only be fully appreciated from the air. This raises a profound question. How did ancient people, with no known access to flight or aerial perspective, create these massive formations with such remarkable precision? Some theorists suggest that the lines served as ceremonial pathways or celestial calendars, while others propose that they functioned as landing strips or signals for beings from above. Could these mysterious formations be evidence of communication between humans and the Watchers? Or are they remnants of their legacy, a permanent marker of knowledge beyond human reach? The concept of the Watchers aligns with modern scientific theories in intriguing ways. Some claims, such as simulation theory, suggest that our reality is being observed by advanced entities. These beings bear an uncanny resemblance to the Watchers described in ancient texts. If so, perhaps we are still being watched. Perhaps in the shadows, these silent observers are simply waiting for the right moment to intervene again. And perhaps the Book of Enoch confirms this unsettling possibility. The rebellion and punishment of the Watchers may not be a closed chapter. The stories of their imprisonment deep beneath the earth mirror theories of a hollow earth, where legends speak of hidden realms such as Agartha and Shambhala, mythical cities believed to be home to advanced and enigmatic beings. As previously mentioned, some interpretations suggest that the Watchers were imprisoned beneath the earth as punishment for their defiance. Could the ancient tales of underground civilizations be echoes of this belief, passed down through generations? Agartha and Shambhala are often described as hidden kingdoms of great wisdom and forbidden knowledge, much like the teachings the Watchers once shared with humanity. Finally, perhaps the most astonishing theory is that their knowledge was encoded into human DNA, a kind of genetic memory waiting to be activated when the time is right. According to this idea, the rapid advancements of the past few centuries, from the Industrial Revolution to space exploration, may be evidence that this ancient programming is coming to life. The story of the Watchers is more than just an old legend. Whether you believe they truly existed or not is up to you, but their tale stands as a powerful warning about the dangers of knowledge without wisdom. Are they cautioning us to avoid repeating our past mistakes, or are they on the verge of awakening once more? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more. You can also support the channel by liking and commenting. See you next time.